Welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to walk you through a 4-step process to build a trading bot. Very quick and very simple. The first thing we'll do is we will find a strategy or develop a strategy. It does not have to be a winning strategy, and we'll tell you why in just a second. The next thing we'll have to do is code the strategy, whether we're using a program or AI, and then we would need to import the strategy into the program. And then finally, we would optimize the strategy, which basically means to just find the greatest or most profitable scenario for your strategy, meaning take profit, even alter some of the inputs for your strategy. So for this particular strategy, we're going to use something very simple. This is the 200 period moving average. And then down here, you have the 35 period moving average. This is both of these are the exponential moving averages. And the strategy is simple. When price is under the 200 period moving average, what we want to see is we want to only look for sales. When price is above the 200 period moving average, we want to look for buys. Now, how would we determine our buy or our sales? We would determine that for this particular strategy when a candle crosses over the 35 period moving average and close, and it's actually below this 200 period moving average. Okay. For a buy position, it will be the opposite. Like this would be a buy position if the 200 period moving average was under the price or under that candle. Very simple. So that's step one. We have our strategy, very simple strategy. And now we go over to our program. So for this example, I will use the program I've used in almost all of the videos, a very simple program called EA Builder. You can find the link in the description of the video. We're just going to go to new, and we want to go to TradeStation. We'll name it YouTube bot, YouTube video bot, UT bot. All right, we'll hit the create button. Now we want to, again, add a condition. This is a buy position. All right, so let's back up here just a second. So this right here, these will be all of the conditions to buy. This will be all of the conditions to sell. And then we would set our stop loss and our take profit. Now, our buy positions in the top box, we would hit add conditions to actually begin adding conditions. And once all of these conditions are met, it will execute a buy order. So let's hit buy. The first condition here is going to be based on the candlestick itself. So remember, we want to buy when the candlestick close is above the candlestick. Actually, here's the close. This just represents which candlestick. So if it's 0, this is the current candlestick. This just means the current candlestick. If you wanted to act on a condition before the current candlestick, you would do 1. But this is the current candle. So leave it at 0. When the candlestick close is what? So let's go back over here. Let's look at a buy position. Even though we know that the 200 is above, we'll look at a buy position. So the candlestick close is going to be above the 35 period EMA. So we go over to our program here. Candlestick close is above, and we go find EMA. We're on indicator already, so let's go find EMA. EMA, exponential moving average. Here we go right here. The EMA. And what period is it? We said it was a 35. All right, so that's our first condition. The second condition is the candlestick open is what? Here's the candlestick. The open is down here. So the open is below the 35 period moving average. So the open is below the exponential moving average, 35 period. All right. So now the condition is that the open and the close needs to be above for a buy. So remember, we want this condition to take place identical to what it did here, but we want the 200 period moving average to be down here, which basically just means it's in an upward trend or the momentum is going up. So to do that, we would go back in here and we would say the candlestick open is above the exponential moving average 200. So we just add a 0 here. And the candlestick close, we want the whole candle, the open and the close, to be above the 200. So here we'll just say the candlestick close is above the exponential moving average 200. All right, easy enough. All right, so for the stop loss and take profit, we could choose whatever, but we're just going to choose, we'll just say 50 points as the stop loss, and as a TP, the take profit, we'll just say 50 points. 50 and 50. All right. So before we hit this button right here, this is like a magic wand button. When you hit this button, it's going to create the sell order for you by doing the opposite of the conditions up here. But before we do that, we need to make sure that these numbers are tied to variables so that we can optimize. We want it to say if it's below or above X or a value. So let's do that really quick. For all of these values we have in here, except the 200, we'll leave that one. So let's go in here. And while you're actually doing this, you could have done this, but I just want to do it in sections to show you. So you click on this right here. You want to add an input. So what input is this? This is the, we'll just say EMA 35. So, okay. So now for this one, we want to open this up and we want to click the box to make the input. We want to add an input. We don't have to add an input because we're using the same EMA length, which is 35. So we just click OK. We select it and click OK. So now over here, we have a variable EMA length. So we can change up this function right here, or this line of code would always remain the same. The only difference, if we wanted to change this, would be in the number, which is tied to the variable. And I'll show you that in a minute. Leave these as is. We want to make sure we do this for the stop loss and take profit. This is going to be very important. Check the box to add input. We want to add a new input. This will be stop loss points. Click OK, and it defaults to those to that name. We could just keep the name, or you could change the name. So now it's stop loss points, and then we want to do the same for the take profit. Now these are different. Okay, so you want to be able to actually have a different stop loss and take profit. So you're not like in this example up here where we did the EMA, we're using the same EMA for that candle cross logic. All right, but for this it will be different. So for the take profit, we need to do TP points. All right, click OK. And you can see the variable here. And if you go over to inputs, you can see that the EMA length is 35. The stop loss points is 50. The take profit points is still our 50. If we wanted to change these, we could just click it and edit whatever that value is. But over here, this would still stay the same. We would just modify the number behind it or the value behind it. Now that we have this worked out, we just hit create. And now we have our code. There's one other thing we want to do. We want to go over to money management, or actually the common tab. And we want to make sure that the max open trades is 1. Because you don't want a bunch of trades taking place at one time, at multiple times, blowing your account. So only one trade open at a time. So now we go over to source, and here's our source code right here. So you press copy here, it'll highlight everything for you, and then you do Control V, which it actually tells you up here. I'm sorry, Control C. It tells you up here. All right, now that's step 1. Actually, no, this is step 1 and step 2. So we've found the strategy, we've coded the strategy, or used EA Builder to code the strategy, and now we're going to import the strategy. So where are we going to import the strategy? You go over to your TradeStation app, and you click on apps, and you click on easy language. All right. So easy language comes up. You want to go to file, new, and it is a new strategy. And you're going to paste that information. I'll select the name here, UTBot. And I'm gonna put a 0 in front of it to make sure it's at the top of the list. All right. Control V. Oh, let's do Control A, delete, or highlight everything and remove everything from this window. And let's do Control V to paste our new code, the code we got from over here. And let's save it. And then we're going to compile. All right. Now, if you were using AI to do this, and you can use AI, you will get probably a ton of errors. So you have to go back and forth with debugging. And it may not even put in the correct logic that you wanted to put in. But this did pretty good. 0 errors. It works every time. EA Builder, again, link in the description. All right. So now that we have that in there, the next step is to add it to the chart. So let's go over to TradeStation so we can add it to the chart here. So we don't have any charts here. So what we want to do is we need to get a chart up here. So let's go here and let's go to chart analysis. And we want to run this on MNQ, 1 contract. So that's what we'll do here. All right, so there's something very, very important when you're building these future trading bots with TradeStation. This may not be the case with other platforms, but with TradeStation, what happens when you put in the price, you have to put 2 zeros behind the price. So for example, if you're trying to move 10 points, it would be 1 0 for 10 and then 2 zeros. So ultimately it will be 1,000. So I'll show you that in just a minute. All right, so as that propagates there, this is our code right here. You see this? We want the stop loss points to be 50, so we have to add 2 zeros, 0.00. The 2 zeros may work, but always add 0.00. So this is actually 50 points, only 50 points here. All right, and again, we save and then compile. Okay. Now, again, this is the part where we are importing the strategy. We go to studies. We want to add a strategy. So add strategy. All right, so the strategy we want to add should be at the very top here because we added a 0. Well, it's close to the top. You see it here, 0 UT bot. Click OK. All right, and give it just a minute. And here are the controls for the bot. What you want to do, if you were trading this on a live account, you would need to make sure all of this is on. So we've added it to the chart. And you'll see in just a minute, lines should start showing up on the chart. So here are the trades right here. Now, how do you see, before we move to the next step on optimizing to get the very best results? So it will tell us if 50 and 50 is the best stop loss and take profit, or if another number, and it will also tell us if that 35 EMA is the best moving average to use. So we'll look at that in just a minute. But before we move over to the Optimize tab, we need to see how to check the performance of the indicator or the program, the bot. So strategy performance report is going to show us the details behind what the bot is currently producing. So it's initializing right now. All right, so here are the numbers. Total number of trades, 21. Average trade, net profit, $23. And you can see those numbers here. Winners, 13. Your total number of, let's see, let's go to performance summary. Here we go. All right, total net profit, $501. You see here things about the long trade, shorts. Looks like the shorts did well, of course, because we're in this down market. But total net profit, that's what you want to look at. You also want to look at the consecutive number of losers. So losing trades, 8, 3. And this tells you the max consecutive losing trades. You don't want this number to be high because if you're losing back to back and you're risking, let's just say 100 or 200 bucks per trade, that could get, it can add up pretty quick. All right, so account size required is $298. So it even gives you the account size. If you wanted to see the trade list, you can click here and see the list of trades here. So it shows you the first trade here. You lost 100, you lost 100, you made 100, you lost 100, made 100, So it shows you all these different trades in this section under trade list. But again, you want to look at the performance, then the trade list. All right, so let's take note of the total net profit, 501.50. All right, so what we're going to do with this is we're going to run the optimizer, and the optimizer is going to tell us the very best take profit and stop loss. And when you come back to your chart, you'll be able to pull up a strategy optimization report, and it will tell you what parameters to use, stop loss, take profit, moving average, that you could use in your program to get the best possible results. So let's take a look at that now. All right, so go to studies, go to edit strategies, because this is a strategy we already have on the chart. All right, so what you want to do is click here, click on the bar here. You will notice a button here that says optimize. So as you click, you want to optimize each one of these fields up here. So we'll start first with the EMA length. We'll go to optimize. We want to enter a start, a stop value, and the increment. So right now we have the moving average at 35. Let's try 10. We'll go down as low as 10, and we'll go up as high as, let's just say 50. And we will do in increments of 5. So what this is going to do, this is going to check every moving average level at 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way up to 50, and it's going to extract and tell us the highest profit amount using this EMA, those particular EMAs. All right, so click OK. Let's do the same with the stop loss, optimize. Again, remember, we have to add the 2 zeros. So what we do here is we want to say, we'll start it at 10 points. So we're trying to gauge the stop loss right now. We want to risk 10 points. We want to go up as high as, we'll say 80 points. All right. And we want to do this in increments of, so we have 10 points here. So we want to do this in increments of 5 points. No, we'll do increments of 10 points. All right. Click OK. It's just telling us that because we put that range in there, this range with the other EMA length, when it's doing all those calculations, it's saying it may be very large. All right, so take profit. Let's go to optimize. For the take profit, we want the take profit to be, usually the take profit needs to be somewhat high to wash out the losses, but we'll see what it says. All right, so we'll start it at, this is at 25 points, and this is at 75 points. We need to go a little higher than that. So let's click here and let's go 150 points, 0. And let's go in increments of 10 as well. Let's click OK. All right, so now we have our values set, and now all we have to do here is click OK. We want to click the OK button to accept our values. And then we want to hit optimize. All right, so you'll immediately see that it is going to run a total of 936 tests, which is not that bad. And the reason why this isn't taking a very long time is because this is I believe we have this on a 5-minute chart. We'll look in just a second. And because we have this on a 5-minute chart, it's only displaying, I believe, about 5 days worth of data. All right, so let's look at that in just a minute. Let's go to the strategy optimization report, because sometimes this report, it actually deletes or removes itself. So let's look at the report first, and then I'll show you where to modify the data app. All right. So remember, let's double click this, see if this is the highest. Okay, this is the highest. All right, so remember when we initially created the strategy, we put it on the chart, it only displayed a profit of about $501 or $500. Now you can see that it found a scenario here with parameters that will give us $1,822. And let's look at the parameters. So the EMA length needs to be 10, or there's some down here with 30, but the EMA length is 10. The stop loss points is 80, and the take profit points is 95. And that's the highest one on the chart. For the very top number here, let's see, number of consecutive winners, consecutive losers. So these are all low losers, 2 losses consecutive, 5 consecutive wins. So we wanted to put let's just put the highest one on the chart. Let's put the one right under it because this is 80, 85, 80, 95. So let's put this one on the chart here. Let's go here. Plot a test chart. And then what we want to do is we want to go over here and we want to put these values over here. So the stop loss would be 80 according to this, and the take profit would be 85. And then the EMA length would be 10. All right. Save it. Compile. Okay. All right. And go to strategy performance report. And there you have it. You've just found a strategy, coded the strategy, imported the strategy, and then finally we just optimize the strategy to get the highest results. And let's take a look at and see how much data this is actually pulling in. And this is using MNQ one contract, by the way. So let's look at let's edit the symbol. All right, so here we have the range here. It's only looking back 5 days. So in 5 days, this pulled in $1,800. And you can see, I believe the minimum amount on the account would need to be just $200 or $300. So let's go days back. I don't know that it'll do that it would do months back because it is MNQ and it doesn't really change the symbol for you. So let's just do we'll keep it at 5 months back here. All right, we have it at 5 months back. All right, so let's see what it would have changed. All right, so there you go. Total net profit, $7,918. Let's look at the amount we would have needed in the account. And you can look at all this data in here as well. Account size required will be $1,580. All right. So that will be the account size required. And there you have it. So that is the step-by-step way to actually create your bot. And I want to show you one last thing here before we jump off here. When you create your bot, if you want to trade it manually, you get the most profitable, scenario. So for example, it told us that using the 10 period EMA with the 80 period stop loss and a 85 period take profit is the best scenario for us. So you can take that logic, code it into a strategy for, let's say, TradingView, and then have the sell signals populate on the chart. And this is what I did here. So what you're looking at here is a strategy where I optimize a strategy, found the best results, and you can see how it works, how it's timing every single sell position where the market is actually selling off by hundreds of points. And when I see this sell signal, if I'm not using the bot, let's say for a prop firm account that don't allow automated trading, I see the sell signal pop up here on the TradingView chart, and then I can actually place the trade on whatever account I'm using. So that is it. That is the video. Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to subscribe.